Hello everybody, I'm Dave Robbins with Endtime Ministries, and this is your Prophecy in the News. I want to talk to you today about the coming world war prophesied in the Bible. It's Revelation chapter 9, verse 13 through 16, and it's the sixth trumpet war. We know it as a World War III because it's going to kill 2.3 to 2.4 billion people. And I know we've talked about this on several of these segments lately, but I want to give you a sense of urgency because of what's going on over in the Middle East. Let me read you a couple of excerpts from a couple articles that I've read recently. Of course, we know that you say, well, what's the world war? What's the prophecy? Well, the prophecy is when the sixth trumpet blows, that power will be given to angels in the Middle East, and it's in the Euphrates River region, which is the Middle East, and a war is going to emanate out of that region that will kill 1/3 of the world's population. It's Revelation 9, 13 through 16. So you say, well, man, why are you guys talking about it now? Well, of course, I can prove that the first 5 trumpets have already come to pass, and we're staring the sixth trumpet right in the face right now. It's the next thing on the prophecy timeline. So listen at a couple of these articles that I've read lately, and I'll read you a couple excerpts, and you can kind of feel our urgency here at Endtime Ministries. The first one comes from DEBKAfile on July 25th, 2012. It says, a big Russian fleet nears Syria and Iran to fight regime change as foreign forces pile up in Syria, on the Syrian border. So listen to an excerpt from this article. Russian, Western, and Arab forces were piling up on Syrian borders Wednesday, this is yesterday, July 25th, bringing closer a war confrontation which could spur the Assad regime into making good on its threats to use chemical weapons against external aggression. So we know that Assad has taken his chemical weapons out of storage and said, hey, if anybody comes in here to attack me and to take down my regime, I'm going to start launching these chemical weapons into Israel, into Iraq, into Turkey. And so you can see the thing just boiling right now. And of course, we know he's killed between 15 and 20,000 people over the past few months. So you can understand why the West is wanting to come in and take down his regime on top of course, oil and controlling the oil in that country. Also, another excerpt from this article said the Russian Ministry of Defense, which rarely discloses Russian military movements outside of its borders, announced early Wednesday morning, July 25th, that the fleet of Russian battleships, had passed through the Straits of Gibraltar and entered the Mediterranean Sea, of course, where they have their setup in a port there in Syria, which is Tartus. And of course, but the Mediterranean Sea also borderlines Israel. So you can see everything's boiling right there on the north end of the Euphrates River. And another article that I just read said, Obama's October surprise, the largest war games in U.S. military history. This was from antiwar.com on June 27th. An excerpt from this article said, these will be the largest such military maneuvers in the history of the joint U.S.-Israeli relationship. 3,000 U.S. Air Force personnel and a larger IDF contingency, which is the Israelis' Air Force, will focus on air warfare and missile defense. The primary goal of these maneuvers is to prepare for the aftermath of an Israeli attack on Iran and the expected counterattack that will come back against Israel. And so you're talking. You all know what's going on. It's just boiling down there between the United States and Iran, because Iran's developing nuclear missiles, and the Israelis have said, hey, we need to do an attack on them and take down their military, what they can do with the nuclear weapons. And so the United States is kind of embroiled in that with them, but we're watching these things come down in the north end of the Euphrates River, the south end, and of course, all 4 countries, Turkey, Syria, Iraq, and Iran, of course, is involved in all of this right now. So we're watching war and rumors of war and things happening right now. And so we've got an urgency here at Endtime Ministries because the next thing on the prophecy timeline is a war that will come out of the Euphrates River region that will kill 1/3 of the world's population. So we want to make sure, what should we do, is to get yourself ready spiritually to meet the Lord and get some preparations ready for your family to survive if something should happen here in the United States. So what we would ask you to do is what we're doing is we've prepared a website, endtime.com, and we're putting up some things that you can do to prepare yourself spiritually and physically for the coming conflict, because it's the next thing to happen on the prophecy timeline, Revelation 9, 13 through 16. Prepare yourself for what's coming. Thank you for watching. I'm Dave Robbins with Endtime Ministries, and this has been Prophecy in the News.